Good evening. I wanted to talk about transmutation and why that is a really specific and important term right now. I actually didn't know or even hear about what that term, that word, what it was. I can't really tell you even when, but definitely not until I was close to 30. But it really relates back to alchemy. In alchemy, a quick, surface definition is the transmutation. So transmute of, quote unquote, I do that on purpose, base metal to gold. So an alchemist who practiced the art of alchemy, chemicals, chemical transformation, transmutation, would be a person who practiced this ritual. And I say ritual because you have to practice to be able to master anything, so you've got to make it a ritual. An alchemist would be practicing the transformation of base metal to gold. Now, why would they do that? You ask yourself, well, here in this world, it's 2018. This has been a really interesting year. It's an 11-year numerologically, which is a gateway. 1-1. It's a place where you actually can transmute or transform through if you have the recipe. So transmutation, base metal gold. Why would you do that? Now, in this world right now in 2018, you do it because, I would say a really easy thing for me to say would be because you are tired of your job. You're tired of the paradigm. You're tired of the same old thing. So the quick, easy way would be to be able to take something ugly, mundane, simple, easy to put in the pocket, like lead. And I don't know, these days, what's made out of lead? I don't even know. Pencils, but we don't even use pencils anymore, let alone pens. Mostly we're just using their finger, so it's not as good of an analogy now. But basically what it means is you're taking something easy to acquire and transforming it through magic into something that is valuable. And you would do that because you're unhappy with struggling to get the gold. Now, why do you want the gold? You want the gold so that you can relax, be comfortable. Is that really why you want the gold? I would say that you want the gold mostly for that. But I think that there's a gateway there. If that's what you want gold for, is material pleasure, then you're not going to get the secret or the key because transmutation and alchemy and all that isn't really actually about changing base metal to gold, nor is, if that's what you want, if that's really what you want, you're forever going to be chasing the carrot, because that's not what it's about. What alchemy and transmutation is about, in the metaphor of base metal to gold, is about the shifting of your conscious state of awareness, which is what your conscious state would be, what you want, how you feel, how you really feel. So do you really feel that what you want is material things? If you're an alcoholic and you want to quit drinking because it's causing you a lot of pain, even though at first, when you had those first couple shots, or if you like beer, like I used to, those first 6 pints, you're feeling really good. And then when you feel shitty, you got to ask yourself, I want to stop drinking because it's making me feel shitty, even though I like the first part. Well, is it the alcohol will make you feel shitty, but why did you need the alcohol? If you're not prepared to realize that you're born into this world with nothing, and therefore really all the answers and all the secrets you're born with, because the secret really is that you need nothing. I mean, you come into this world and it's true you would die without your mama or your papa or whoever was your guardian and fed you as a helpless little thing, right? All right. But that too is a metaphor. You're born into this world with nothing. You don't need anything. So why did you need alcohol? You didn't. So it wasn't alcohol. That was the problem. So if you're willing to look at problems like that, like if you're willing to look at the root of problems in kind of a, comparison, or in respect to the fact that you actually were born with nothing, you don't need anything. So anything that you needed and became acquired and accustomed and then addicted and then addicted and then plagued by, you ain't gonna find anything within the substance. You're still gonna have to go down to your substance, yourself, and figure out, well, if I needed nothing and I needed to say that I needed alcohol, and then I said I needed to quit alcohol, well, just go back, trace that root. So if you're saying that you need the Philosopher's Stone, which is again, a metaphor for the magical tool to change the metals, or the magical tool to change your life, then you ain't going to be looking in the right direction if you're looking at what it is that you need, the tool that you need to get the money to solve the problem, to get the love, to get the, even if it's not even, as surface as that, even if it's just, I need the something to get the something, that itself is something, right? However, words, symbols, you can talk about it like that. And it helps you get back down to the fact that you talk about it, you release it, you calm it. It's what's there. It's just you again. Little baby you, fresh you. Who's taking care of you now? You is. And how you taking care of yourself. Not respecting yourself. What would your mama be saying right now? All right. So that's how I've been explaining alchemy. And from here forth, I would say this. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of videos. There's a lot of information. I personally am according to everything about me in my natal chart, especially all of it. I'm an information. I need it. I need all of it. And I love that. And I love being informed. And I really condone that. I really advocate people going out there and gathering in their own baskets of the mind all the information they can get with a non-attachment to it. Objective information, store it. There's a lot of information out there, and I advise you to look at it. But in the end, it's just another thing. Same as this video right here. But the thing is, we're going into a place where it's really necessary. And when I say place, I feel like I say global. Now, I won't talk about Mama Earth, Mama Earth is here. Inside of us, outside of us, we drink from her. We eat from her. We die into her. We're born on top of her. And we talk about her. We think in round circles and start someplace and come back, and this linear attitude that things start and stop in this line, or whatever. That's just not, it's it's deconstructive to really how things are going. And I really feel like everybody needs to understand that transmutation is a way of transforming one thought process from the other. The real sense of alchemy is that you are transforming your mind. Now, if you thought about your mind and transforming it, if you have an end result in mind, that's not it. I mean, it's not linear, you know. It all works in circles. You're going to die and be reborn over and over again. In metaphorical terms, when you start a job and then end it, or anything. We're, you know, linear. That's why I think time really traps us, the way that it's constructed, at least here in the U.S., in the sense that it has an end result, really, and we become fixated on a need to just like spin it, when actually I feel like if we changed our minds and realized, just like this earth that we're on, and flat earthers out there, if you give me some good information and give me an otherwise kind of thing, then still, even if it's a flat earth, like there's some kind of roundness to that flatness, you know? I just still think so. It's a really long oval. So going into this new place, I really feel like it's really important to understand a few of the principles that I kind of jumped around, talked about. You know, transmuting your energy. When you look at information, don't look at it as an end result. When you talk to people, you know, the heart shape is much more like a circle than it is a line. You know, a sword is a line. And don't get me wrong, I'm an air sign, and I dabble with tarot because it's a symbolic way of calling in the divine. And the suite of air is defined in one deck, at least, by swords. And swords do cut to the truth. They're masculine in a way. And that's a wonderful way of cutting to the truth of something. But that's also destroying it a little bit. We got to think about things from the perspective that we didn't draw this circle. So a circle doesn't mean that it has no end. It means that we don't know where the end is. The only person who knows where the end is the person who drew the circle. And so you have all the time in the world, which means now, all the time. I have all the time in the world right now to try and explain myself to myself, out into, and it's only stopped by some kind of need to have a means, you know? Us all feeling this huge social pressure to go out and do something that you ain't feeling is a waste. It's a waste of, it's a waste. Like, it's a waste of, I can't even say time. It's a waste of your moment every time. And so I feel like it's very bold, but pregnant belly is round. And in order to conceive new life, a woman must become pregnant. And to do this, she has to step out of all of her comfort zones of the shape of herself, the needs of herself, the patterns of her behavior, and the end result is no end. It's a continual, you know, and she must step into this entirely different role to produce something inexplicably more precious than anything, which is the potential of life, which in butterfly effect could be the potential of anything. It could be the potential of perfection and love for everyone. And in order to even dare step into a role like that, a woman must go through transformation or transmutation, alchemical process that we actually almost unconsciously go through when we have children. And I feel that it's important for us to teach our children this term and to help our children become little alchemists. It's easy. All you do is reprogram some of your thinking. You don't need much information, because in the end, with all the information given, it's still the wisest thing to do to make your own mind up about it, given that you've gathered a wise amount of information, and then go from your heart. And so it's simple to teach. It's simple. Teach them about a circle and why time could be conceived as a circle, even during the day. I mean, it's a clock as a circle, but what, teach them that anything that they want to do, they ought to think about. And then after they think about it, if they really want to do it, then they just got to find a way. That's the will. And when there's, a thought about one way to go, you got to take that first step. That's transmutation. That's taking a thought and making it something that never was before. A first step, anything. And if we direct these alchemical kind of simple ways of teaching our children how to do this, I mean, you're going to give them a set of, well, where would you direct your alchemical powers? Ask them, what do you really want? Don't say, what do you want to be when you grow up? Say, what is it you want all the time right now? And ask them every day, it'll change. Now say, go out there and go see if you can do that right now. I'm going to end because I'm going to try and end this at 20 minutes. I take my daughter out to a lake where we live, and it's a man-made lake where a bunch of Native Americans used to have a community. It's got energy there from ancient times. In fact, it used to be an ancient seabed, so you can still find fossilized things if you look hard enough. There's agates out there. And we go out on treasure hunts. And I tell her that you never know what you're going to find, but put it out there. Put it out there as a manifestation. What do you want to find? And she doesn't know, so I say, tell yourself you're going to find a treasure. And if you don't know what kind of treasure it is that you want, just say you want a treasure. And you never know what you're going to get. And every single time that we go out, sometimes she'll find a piece of glass, and that's her treasure. And she made it her treasure because it goes back to this. In her mind, it became a treasure once, before she found it, it became a treasure once she labeled it that. Language is powerful. So when she found that little piece of glass, even if it was the last, and sometimes it's been the last little bit, she's ready to fucking go. And she's like, I didn't find nothing. I'm like, you never know what you're going to find, I should pick up a piece of dumbass glass. And I don't mean dumbass really, but she pick up some random bottle cap, and that's her treasure. And it delights her. And it causes sensations that create cohesion into believing. And that's what this is about. It's about fucking believing. You gotta believe in what you want, and if you don't know what you want, just know that you're going to get treasure. Thanks, everybody. Much love.